Okay, today we are playing a game on King's Row. We are in the Platinum SR range, and we'll be playing Reinhardt most of the way through. There's a little bit of Orisa towards the very end, but it's basically just Reinhardt. So we're Team 2. We've got Symmetra, Junkrat, Zarya, Reinhardt, Ana, and Zenyatta. So I'm not very happy with that combo of DPS, because it's fairly easy to counterpick. If they pick, like, a Pharah, a Winston, you know, we'll be pretty upset about that. If they've got, like, a bunker over there, you know, Junkrat's good at breaking a shield and all that, but outside that, we wouldn't get much progress in, likely, unless we go for, like, a real brave teleporter play with Symmetra, which does sometimes work versus a bunker, to be fair. Anyway, it's alright, people don't counterpick in this game, you don't have to worry about it. Also, on their team, they got a guy named Shimada, and someone else playing Hanzo. I'm sorry, Shimada, you gotta change to Genji. It's the only thing that you're allowed to do in this situation. You can't be playing Ashe with a name like that. So, we've got to attack first, and we've managed to get through the gate, so we're making good progress so far. We do get fairly indecisive here, because we can't decide if we want to fully commit one way or the other for a while in here. Here we see Reinhardt's shield just broke, and he's running around in open space with fucking Discord Orb on him, so he just gets clapped immediately. But here, we don't respect the fact that Torbjorn's over there in that doorway, and he runs over and he does a big old chunk of damage to us. Now we're backing up like, oh fuck, and then Ashe capitalizes on it as well. So we're basically just not ready for Torbjorn to suddenly like lunge out and get us there, but you gotta be ready for those crafty dwarves, man. They'll just run out and latch onto your fucking face like a drop bear. That's basically just what Torbjorn is, really, to be honest, isn't it? So, that's what really put us on the back foot right there. Anyway, we do have most of Earth Shatter built up at this point, so that's nice at least. They do also only have one healer, they got 3 DPS, so we, by all accounts, should just be able to, like, battle of attrition them down. As long as we don't get clapped in the fight, it'll be difficult for them to actually, like, match us for sustain. Our Junkrat's now changed to Sombra. I'm even less excited about that, to be honest with you, unless the Sombra ends up being a god, which is entirely possible. So we are just, like, running forward here. Like, Ana nano boosts us, so it ends up not mattering. But we are just, like, running forward here into, like, full view of the enemy team, swinging. And we just take a big old chunk of damage, and Ana fortunately saves our lives. But we did deserve to die right there. Gotta be real careful when you're just, like, running at the enemy team. Like, swinging your hammer. Or when you take your hammer down, or when you take your shield down to fire strike people. We'll see that one later. There was a very upsetting part. No, so the person's watching this back. I've actually got the sound turned off right now, because they're talking about the game at the same time. And so I've had to turn the sound off, because when people are talking, I just have this terrible habit of losing all focus and just listening to them instead. You'll have seen this if you've seen any of the videos we've watched, where I could hear the people talking in the game. And so then those videos usually just turned into me making fun of the people in the game because they were saying something dumb. Because that's all really happens in Overwatch, isn't it? Like, team chat-wise, you know, very little in the way of productive conversation tends to happen. So this is one of the worst uses of company resources I've ever seen in my entire life. Torbjorn just on the other side of the fucking street is like, yeah, dude, let's throw that molten core out there. Fucking got him, am I right? Yeah. So, holy fucking shit, was a lot of stuff happening in there. We ran in and swang Bob for good measure. I watched this earlier, and I know we said we didn't know that was Bob originally, so that's why we ran in there and swung at him. So here, we let our shield break, and this would be a pretty good time to go aggro on them, because they're on the back foot right now, but we've let our shield break, so we can't actually go in right now. We have to wait for it to regenerate instead. Both of us have got Earth Shatter at this point. We should both know, because neither of us have seen the other use Earth Shatter this entire time. Fire striking right here, not very productive, because these people, they're all likely to be very healthy. We've got Earth Shatter built up, so us fire striking like this doesn't do much, except maybe give Reinhardt the opportunity to use Earth Shatter, though he's standing on top of the payload, which is not a good place for him to be standing. Don't be like that, Reinhardt, right there. Because if he Earth Shatters up there, it won't work. And if we Earth Shatter down here, it'll go under his shield. Don't stand, like, up there as that Reinhardt, unless you've got, like, a good reason to do so. He doesn't have a good reason to be doing so right now, other than that he likes to feel tall, I suppose. So we're in the Graviton. We did say we saw Reinhardt get low here, so we clapped him and managed to kill him. So that's nice, but yeah, you know, not exactly a good... No. We got stuck in a Graviton. Don't need to go over that one too much. Sometimes you get clapped in the Graviton. Such is life. So we do still have Earth Shatter. Reinhardt still has his... The other Reinhardt, rather, still has his Earth Shatter as well. So we've got to be careful about that one. This is a good map to have Earth Shatter on, because it's really... Like, this map funnels people together pretty nicely, so... If you can get an Earth Shatter past the other Reinhardt, you tend to get most of his team just by virtue of, like... The architecture of the map tends to be that way. So we blocked his Earth Shatter, easy money. He got slept in front of us, so we Earth Shatter them right back. Sombra uses the Emp as well. It's overkill. It ends up being overkill because we only really needed to use the Earth Shatter or the Emp, but we both did it at the same time. So hey, we caught the checkpoint, and that's the important thing. But it ended up being overkill just because we both used our ultimates at the same time, and just one of them would have sufficed. But, you know, whatever. If you both push your button at the same time, what can you do? So we're coming up on the moment where we're gonna get punished for using Fire Strike at a bad time. Because you gotta be real careful as Reinhardt. I think it's gonna be, like, right here. Yeah, it's right here. So we've got Discord on us right now. So we've got to be careful about taking our shield down in general. Especially against a team like that, where they've got a Hanzo, McCree, Zenyatta. It is very easy versus that team comp to take your shield down, just to, like, Fire Strike, and if you got Discord on you, guess what? You can just suddenly die. So you gotta be careful just in general versus that team, but, oh look, we're like a little over half health, oh look, we're dead. We don't need to agonize over this one either. We Fire Struck while we were about half health and had Discord Orb on us, so we died. You gotta be careful, just in general, when you've got, like, Discord on you as Reinhardt, especially versus a team that does so much burst damage like that. I've seen many a Reinhardt die. Fire striking at, like, close to full health with Discord on him, and so they just get clapped in the head and die. You know, that's why Discord Orb is really strong. As it turns out, the ability to make the enemy team just take a fuck ton of damage... really strong. Who would have guessed that one? So there's Zen's using Transcendence right now, and I'm not really sure why. Why fucks Zarya, like, right? Why is there Zen using Trance right now? I guess maybe to save Mercy. He was just scared, you know, such is life, I guess. And then McCree ends up dying anyway. This is, like, wild crazy play right here, because we're just so far away from him. Like, he's got so much time to react. The plan was apparently was just to try and see if we could pin him or bait something out of him. I don't know what we would have baited out of him, but that was apparently part of the plan. Just, like, giving him way advanced notice. Like, we're actually far enough away when we start doing this charge that he could have Earth Shattered us. Because we are, like, far enough away for him to do it. And if he just, like, countercharges us right there, you know, it's not the end of the world, but, like, at the same time, we haven't really accomplished anything. So, I just don't want to charge from that far away. Like, just, you give him so much time to react. And... he didn't do anything, so, you know, we get away with it scot-free, but it was just such an optimistic play that was dramatically unlikely to work, and, like, the Reinhardt just has to be really bad to let it happen, is the moral of the story, so I just don't want to do it. Apparently we knew we were going to get nano boosted at the time as well, so, you know, that gives you the extra buffer room, and if he does happen to just, like, let us pin him and we get nano boosted, that would be nice, but so unlikely to work. There's, like, we just end up using the cooldown for nothing, you know? So 2 of our team just got sniped right there, so we're pretty much already fucked. I don't like standing up in the gate. It's just... the thing is with, like, defending checkpoints, like, or choke points like this, I should say, is just that, like, standing this far up as Reinhardt just ends up not accomplishing much, because if we're standing, like, all the way up here, like, actually fighting in the choke point, right? Our teammates, like, they're gonna be standing further back around the wall, because they aren't just gonna, like, walk through and try to, like, walk past us to fight us, right? They're gonna, like, back up and be like, whoa, Reinhardt's fucking swinging out this doorway at me. So they're gonna fall back behind this doorway. And so that means our teammates have to come, like, up here to be able to see out, which means they've had to get real close to the enemy team to see them, to actually shoot at them. And they don't want to do that. And if we've got, like, our shield up over here, like, even like where we're standing right now, right? If we're standing, like, right here, they can be standing over here and be shooting our shield for free in a place where our teammates cannot possibly retaliate because they're just out of line of sight, right? Unless our teammates are standing, like, again, like, right up here, but this is a scary place to stand, like, this far up for most people. If you got, like, any long-range heroes on your team, they just don't want to be up here. Another thing with King's Row specifically is that there is usually a sniper, and if you're stood this far up as Reinhardt, you can't block your team from the enemy sniper, because they're going to be up in the church steeple, and they're going to be waiting to shoot people over all the way over here next to the statue. And if you just stood between the statue and the hotel, you can block for them, and they can just shoot them as they're coming through the doorway, and you can block them from all the snipers. You can't do that from all the way up here. It's also, like, actually quite easy to get, like, randomly pinned over here and die, because the enemy Reinhardt, he can pin you through the doorway and pin you into the statue. If you're stood, like, off to the side, he can jump around the corner, pin you, and then put you into the wall behind him. And you're just, like, super dead if that happens. So this position just ends up being, like, really unfortunate to stand in as Reinhardt, because it's really easy for your shield to get shot from places your teammates can't retaliate from, unless they're, like, really aggressively far up. And they kind of have to be to actually stand behind your shield that far up. So I've never liked standing up there on King's Row, because it's just not... You don't get to leverage, like, what's good about Reinhardt's shield, you know? And here, like, we don't need to agonize over this one too much. Like, a bunch of our teammates got picked off immediately, and we just had to, like, back way the fuck up and wait for them. Like, we had to play way more cautiously while we're waiting for them, like, back up to the our side of the point, pretty much. Closer to, like, the archway over here, and play this side of the point while we wait for them to regroup, and then hopefully fight, because we can't hope to fight them 4v6. Not with no ultimates, anyway. If you've got ultimates, sometimes you can make it work out, but, like, any time you're at a numbers disadvantage, it's always bad, and if you don't have any ultimates to work with, like, you're pretty fucked. Unless they, like, drastically fuck up, which does happen, certainly, but not exactly a reliable thing. So right now we gotta be careful again. We had Discord Orb on us right there, especially versus another Reinhardt. You're gonna end up taking a large chunk of damage real fast, and they've still got, like, the snipers and everything. So we can infer at this point he's probably got Earth Shatter built up, because they won that first fight really easily. And we've got ours built up now, and we were on the back foot. So if we're behind and we've got it, like, he's definitely gonna have his. So, Reinhardt was purple. We've got a chance. We did have a chance to kill him in here, and, you know, we've got to be careful about the Earth Shatter still, but that boy's purple. We might not have been able to see he was purple, because I don't know if we've actually hit him. If we knew he was purple, we should definitely be going in to try and get the guy. Probably afraid of the Earth Shatter, but simultaneously, that guy's purple. Fucking, I want him dead. If he's dead, he can't Earth Shatter, dude. And if he's purple, like, that low, he definitely, like, doesn't want to get hit again. So he's gonna be more inclined to hold his shield up at that point. And anytime you're, like, trying to get on a Reinhardt, like, who's likely to be panicking, you can just run up and, like, start swinging, and then put your shield up immediately. And 9 times out of 10, they'll panic reaction, just like, don't hit me, and they'll Earth Shatter to try and get you away from him. And then you just block it, because you're just like, alright, he's panicking, run up, swing, put shield up, and I gotcha. So, Symmetric barrier here makes it extremely easy to block Earth Shatter. Like, it makes it so hard for that guy to actually get an Earth Shatter in now. He did just Earth Shatter right there. It didn't hit anybody. Might have hit somebody, like, way back on the left, but it didn't hit anybody important, at least. We just Earth Shattered them right back. Easy peasy. If you're playing Reinhardt and you whiff the Earth Shatter, you gotta be ready to block that counter shatter, because there's no, like, it's one of, especially lower SRs, this is one of the easiest ways to Earth Shatter the enemy Reinhardt. Block his Earth Shatter. They just assume they're gonna hit you and start running forward. Like, they're like, I committed, I pushed my ult, I'm committed. They just immediately run forward and start swinging, or, like, charge before even waiting to see if it hits. So you just, like, block Earth Shatter. immediately Earth Shatter back again, and you'll probably get them. Stops being the case as you get higher in SR, but like low rank Reinhardt players, dude, they just like, they don't wait to like hit confirm. They just fucking go. They assume it hits. Or if they do wait and hit confirm, they just still go anyway. Like, well, I ulted, I can't fucking back out now, can I? So we've almost got Earth Shatter built up again immediately, so what a good day for us. We did get to swing into that Graviton, so it was a good day. They've changed off Reinhardt now onto Orisa. It's easier to... If you can get into a good position, it is easier to Earth Shatter and Orisa, but you've got to be paying attention, because... I'm not sure what we're doing right now. What are we trying to find out right now? Because we're going back and, like, agonizing over this footage. What are we doing? We are not saying anything. We're not saying anything still. Oh, we're going back. We're going over for the fire strike right here. Yeah, you know. Okay. Yeah, we got the fire strike in there, but we do already have Earth Shatter built up, so you know it's very optimistic to just like hope it's gonna do something at that point. Fire strike's dramatically less good to use once you have Earth Shatter built up, unless you think the fire strike's gonna kill somebody. Which, when they're coming out of spawn, is fairly unlikely to have happen. So, we're in a bad spot. We've pretty much got a hard left, like, take the shield down, hop left, get out of this dragon, because just, like, ambling in the dragon, or, like, go backwards out of it, like, either way, but the angle going back wouldn't work. We've pretty much, at that point, we're gonna get funneled into them, because we can't back up. And it's not a good spot to be in, but, like... That's the point of the dragon, is that sometimes it puts you into unfortunate situations like that. We pretty much just gotta, like, go left and, like, stand with Zarya, pretty much. There's nowhere else for us to stand at that point. So as I was making my original point about Orisa, if you're paying attention, it's really easy to Earth Shatter the Orisa. You've just gotta be watching for when she deploys the shield. It's like, the whole thing with the Reinhardt versus Reinhardt is, like, shield management, all that. It's similar versus Orisa, but she has hers on a cooldown. So as long as you're paying attention to when she's put it down, it can be completely free to Earth Shatter them. The trick is getting up to them. That's the hard part. But, like, the amount of times I've seen a Reinhardt player just be like, ha! Orisa's shield broke. Earth Shatter. Oh, she replaced it because that's Orisa. Right. You can't play it the same way. Most Reinhardt players do the same thing, like, Orisa's shield broke! It's not as good as when Reinhardt's shield breaks, sadly, you know. She probably has it by that point. So, instead, it's more about, like, watching when she puts it down, and then just walking through it, and then Earth-Shattering. And at that point, hey, what can they do? So we do, in fact, do exactly that right there, where we just muscle our way through and Earth-Shatter. But, we keep swinging. Like, okay, we got the pin in here, that's nice, get the kill. Immediately have to start blocking. Like, immediately have to start blocking and backing up, because we are stood right next to the Roadhog, and we took a big old chunk of damage. Probably died regardless at that point, but we pretty much have to immediately start blocking. And now we've entered the Orisa segment. Not a huge amount of time left in the game, as we can see. Orisa, dramatically less exciting hero to watch. And now we will play like Bastion if he had more hit points and did less damage. But sometimes we'll walk through and start shooting at them. Very exciting. I'm not a big fan of Orisa. I don't know if you can tell. It doesn't help that, like, people have been saying since, like, Season 5, some shit at this point, Reinhardt's dead, Orisa's so much better than Reinhardt. This is, like, never really been the case. You could make the case now, I think, just because bunker comps are so strong with Batista, but, like, I've been listening to fucking Reddit go on and on and on and on about Orisa for so long, about how Orisa's overpowered, that I'm just, like, tired of looking at Orisa, to be honest with you. She's never been, like, that strong. But hey, you know, I always found that really funny as well, how everybody was like, Orisa's fucking worthless, dude. What's the fucking point of Orisa? And then he's like, on a fucking dime, the internet turned around. Like, you know, Just like when Anna, but Anna at least had the benefit of actually legitimately being very overpowered at the time, as opposed to Orisa, who is just easier to play than Reinhardt. Alright, I don't like when Zenyatta's use the Transcendence just to save themselves from the Riptire, to be honest with you. We don't need to go back over this one. There's the tire's there, Zen does that, whatever. I don't like when Zenyatta's do that. Like, yeah, it saves you, but, like, you use your ult for it, and, like, you use it just to save yourself. Sometimes you do want to do that as Zenyatta, but, like, I'm one of those people that would rather, like, take the death if it's just gonna be me, you know, and save my ultimate. Anyway, so we put the bongo down right here, right behind the shield. We did replace the shield first, so that's good. It's behind a fresh shield, but we could also just take a couple steps to the right, put it behind the wall, and then it's super safe, because then they have to get all the way in there. And, like, everybody on our team is long-ranged, with the exception of Sombra, so, like, we can put it behind that wall, and it will be getting everybody on our team, because we're all gonna be stood, like, at this shield or behind it, right? And then it's just, like, extra super safe, because if they break the shield, they can get it, whereas if it's around the wall, they have to go around the wall to get it. See? It breaks it right there without having to come around the wall. So, you can't always necessarily put it around a wall, but right there, totally free. Could have just put it around the wall, and it would be still getting our entire team. Because we're all long-ranged. The thing is, if you're gonna, like, it's got, like, a Batista-esque issue there, where, like, sometimes you can put your ult down and then you push up. So you end up not getting any benefit out of it, but the bongo is much easier to get benefit out of, even if when you're pushing up, you know? I think I had a better point to make right there. We could have just put it around the wall, is the moral of the story. So now they've got a Reinhardt, again, in the closing minutes of the game. He got hacked and he's dead. He just didn't know what to do and just stood on the payload swinging his hammer while hacked, and hey, he died. How about that? And Reinhardt's not sprinting up with Tac Visor. Soldier 76 is sprinting up with Tac Visor. I don't know who's up there. It's probably Hanzo. Someone's definitely up there. And here he comes, because now he's got to come up and touch the point. Yep, Oh, here comes a Reaper. Oh, we don't have Fortify. Oh, no. Why did we use Fortify? Did we need to use Fortify when we used it earlier? No, we didn't. There's no reason to use Fortify right now. Because nothing bad's happening to us. Like, we're using it when we're just, like, looking at... Because Roadhog, he's fucking dead. So we're using it when we're looking at just a Mercy and a Hanzo, pretty much. Even though we're behind a shield and a payload right now. Did not need to use Fortify right there. And it came back to bite us because... Oh, fuck. Here's Reaper. If you've got Fortify, it's actually quite hard to die to Reaper. But we did not have it. How about that? Cooldown usage is pretty important for Orisa. Also, given that we don't have Fortify right now, not having Fortify is the mistake here, the pivotal mistake, but one of the cool things about Orisa versus Reaper, we also didn't need to replace this shield yet. Because this shield still has 645 health when we replaced it, so we actually didn't need to replace the shield right now either. We could have left it down. And then we'd even have because if we had it, right, we could back up, put the shield down, and then start shield dancing. So we've used both our cooldowns and we didn't need to. Both of which could have led to us helping with this Reaper situation. But we can just barrier dance. So rather than backing away from Reaper, because he's just going to follow us, we're going to, like, hook around Reaper and start playing around our bubble instead. And then we've got a better chance than just backing away from him, because he'll never stop. Like, he's going to come after us until we're dead. But we also could have just not used Fortify or our shield earlier, and then we would have both of them for that situation there instead. There you go. Cooldown usage is like the main skill for Orisa, because all her cooldowns are pretty good. She is somewhat entirely based around them, you know? So what we got today. Crime, the story of 3 girls who were kidnapped and kept captive for over 10 years. It's a pretty fucked up story, that one, as you might be able to infer. Judge Judy, 2019, amazing episode 700. Alright. He doesn't look like a real person. Like, he looks like a CGI character that just got, like, teleported into the real world. Like, his face proportions are just, like, real. He's got, like, such a tiny face. Anyway. Jack the Ripper, yeah. I like Northern Lion, my favorite YouTuber. Wild West Brothels, it's shown me that like 12 times. It's told me that like 12 times as well. Strange Egypt. I'm not wild on Egyptian history, personally. I was always much more of a fan of the Romans than the Egyptians, personally. I don't think there was anything in the email, but I gotta bring it over and look, because I fucking forgot to check again. Let's see. I was wondering if you were interested in doing another one of mine. Dude, send as many VoDs in as you want. Like, I need more. Honestly, people don't send me enough shit. I've never got very many videos in the backlog. Should have been more aggressive. Shield broke. Yep. No questions in the email. Okay, so not much to say about the game overall, to be honest with you. The email, you said it was kind of close. It wasn't really. Like, I never really felt like we were losing at any point in time, to be honest with you. I guess the very first push at the start of the game felt kind of bad, but, like, outside of that, like, it never really felt too terrible. I guess we lost the first checkpoint really quickly, but, like, that'll happen when 2 people get picked off, and then after that, it was, like, real easy. So I didn't really feel like it was that close. Yeah, so the moral of the story overall is pretty much, like, Orisa was, like, not much to talk about. Cooldown, be careful using your cooldowns when you don't need to. Cooldown management being the main skill for Orisa, pretty much. I guess outside of aiming, because she does have to aim a little bit, even though she's got a fucking minigun, right? So, it's not, she's not exactly super precise, but there is an aim requirement. And for Reinhardt, be careful when you take your shield down, and be careful when you charge, pretty much. But overall, like, pretty good game. Pretty much played Reinhardt, just gotta be, like, more respectful of the bad men, pretty much, which was the main reason we died a couple times. So, yeah, so thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I've started streaming on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 8 p.m. EST till midnight EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future, and I hope you found the video helpful.